welcome to my first Halloween makeup tutorial. This is an animated zombie girl makeup look. If you want to recreate it, keep on watching. I'm starting out with a fresh face and I'm going to use my Maron Paradise palette. I'm going to mix this white, blue, and green color to get a turquoise shade. I'm using this foundation brush from Real Techniques and I dipped it into a little bit of water that I had beside me because the paint is a little dry. So I'm going to go in with a second layer in a little bit. Now here I'm just doing kind of like a contour around my face with the green shade. Here I'm going over the contour with the green eyeshadow from Morphe 35 Color Glam palette just to set the contour. I'm using my MAC Painterly pot as a base for my eyeshadow. At this point, I realized I needed a dark base for my black eyeshadow, but I could not find my black eyeliner that I usually use. So I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow in chocolate. And I'm packing on black eyeshadow from Morphe. And as you can see, it's helping the black eyeshadow look a little better. I forgot to show the shade, but I'm using a turquoise color from the Morphe palette to cover up my brow bone. And if you see my 3-year-old running back and forth, she was around a few shots. I'm mixing these two green shadows and I'm gonna go over where I did the turquoise because it looked a little flat, and once I add this green it'll look a little bit more vibrant. Now I'm using a NYX black eyeliner and I'm just shaping out my brows. Now I'm going to take this Milani Cosmetics lipstick in hot pink and this thin paintbrush, and I'm going to go over the middle of my brow. And I'm doing this that way when I use a pink eyeshadow, it'll stick to my brow better. As you can see, the powder is sticking to my eyebrow, and if I would have just added the eyeshadow alone, it wouldn't have grabbed on as vibrant. I'm going over the black eyeliner with this black paint from the Maron palette, and again I dipped my brush in a little bit of water, that way I can make those lines stand out. And I'm using the NYX black eyeliner to cover up my waterline since they look a little bit pink. I'm fading out the black eyeliner with dark green eyeshadow, and I'm just going to blend in until I get the right consistency. I started shaping out just some lines and shapes around my face. I really didn't have any specific shapes that I wanted to do, so I kind of just went with it, and once I started adding color, I just switched up the shapes until I got what I wanted. Once I got to my nose, I started using a picture of a skull for reference, and I just lined it out with the black eyeliner, and then I just went back to fill it in with the black paint from the Maron palette. I mixed the green and white color from the Maron palette, and I'm just filling in those shapes. And then I'm also using the green to kind of clean up the black lines and shape them differently. I'm using this bright green shimmery shade from the Morphe palette, and I'm just adding it to the middle of the shapes to set it and also to make them look a little bit brighter. I'm using my black eyeliner to shape out my lip on half of my face, and then the other half I'm going to shape out some teeth. And I'm not worrying about being perfect because I'm going to go back in with some paint, so any mistakes that I make I can just clean up with the paint. Now, around my mouth, I did have a hard time because I really didn't know what type of shape to go for. So I'm just gonna go off of this picture I'm looking at and just draw out just a weird odd shape around my face, and then just kind of go in with some paint and just see how it goes. I mean, I literally just went with it. I really didn't have anything specific that I was thinking of. As I said, I don't have anything specific in mind, so I'm just adding color until I see that it looks the way I want it to look. Now, while I'm editing this clip, I realized that I'm missing a whole section of when I added my eyelashes, my contacts, and when I filled in my lips. So I'm sorry about that, but I have no idea where that clip went. So here I'm adding this bright yellow shadow, and I'm just highlighting the middle of my face, and it's just making my look a little bit brighter. Now I'm touching up the white because I noticed that it was fading out a little bit. So it kind of shows what I did before on the other clip that I'm missing. Now when I was done, I felt like it was a little bit too plain. So I went in with some yellow paint and just kind of added it to the middle just to give it a little bit more pop. The more I looked at it, the more I wasn't happy with it. I just wanted to add more. So I'm just shaping out just half a brain with my black eyeliner, and then I'm going over it with some red paint from the Maron palette. I loved how the red looked when I used it for the brain, so I decided to use it as blood coming out of my mouth. And then again, I still wasn't happy with the finished result, so I just wanted to add kind of like a cut through my neck. And I just made some squiggly lines with the black paint and then just went over it with the red. And just making some drip blood shapes, I guess. I just kind of went with it. And here's the finished result. I hope you liked it, and stay tuned for the next Halloween makeup look.